Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning to you. You are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. It's a beautiful Friday morning. We are grateful for life, for favor, for mercies. Some people slept and they didn't wake up. Kalabasua. We thank God. You're welcome to the news headline review. Right here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news. from business to politics. From sports entertainment, we got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And I am your host, Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu. Joining me this morning in the studio is my knowledgeable ladies, Miss Debbie Adozo and Miss Regina Bless. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are we doing? Green vegetation?
Mm-hmm. The grace is sufficient.
We thank God. Champagne?
The grace is sufficient.
Aww. Why?
What's happening?
Hope you're also good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
you're
good.
fine.
Oh, I'm fine. You don't like me.
I'm sorry.
They are not sure.
Right. Let's dive into the major news item for this morning. Oforiatta fights extradition with top lawyers. Ayeni. Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, says former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta has hired top lawyers in the United States to challenge moves to extradite him to Ghana. Speaking during the government's accountability series, Dr. Dominic Ayeni confirmed that Ghana has formally submitted an extradition request to U.S. authority. According to him, it is normal for anyone facing extradition to contest it in court. He explained that under U.S. law, Mr. Oforiatta has the right to challenge the request through several levels of the American judicial system, including the Federal District Court, the Circuit Court, and even the U.S. Supreme Court. Dr. Ayeni said the government is not intimidated by the legal action and remains confident in its case. He stressed that the final decision now lies with the U.S. court, and the process may take time due to the legal reviews involved. This is a new development to the case of Ken Oforiatta. Finally, Ghana has submitted an extradition request to bring Ken Oforiatta to the country to come and answer some questions and then face the court. But Dr. Dominic Ayeni said it's normal for anybody to contest in court or challenge the extradition process, and due to that, Ken Oforiatta has hired top-notch lawyers in the U.S. to challenge this particular case. Right now, my question is, so if they go to court, he challenges the issue and he wins, what next? What happens? Is it that we leave him to go scot-free, or baby for Miss Debbie?
How can he win? And why should he win?
You have faith that he will not win?
Well, I don't really have faith in our judicial system. Anything can happen at any time. But if Ken Oforiatta should win the case of our Attorney General, then it means that our system is very weak. And it also means that we are not serious. We are not serious because someone who has been declared as a fugitive, you cannot just stand up and declare somebody as a fugitive. You declaring someone as such means that the person has committed a very big crime. Let me put it that way. Yes, a very big crime. And so the person is needed. But you see, it's even quite sad because we've seen instances where people commit crimes in the state and then they pave their way back into the country. And there is collaboration between the U.S. and the government. Simple car. Abutrick, I say still in the country. He's gone, right? Yeah, so that should have been the case. That should have been something that we should have solved for so long. But if Attorney General is saying that now the process is ongoing very smoothly and very soon we are going to see Oforiatta back in the country, well, it's good. But it will be very sad if at the end of this, Ken Oforiatta wins the case against the court. It wouldn't make sense for any ordinary Ghanaian if Ken Oforiatta should win the case against the court. Why should you win the case against the court? Then it means that the Attorney General wasn't prepared enough. Because OSP declared him a fugitive. It means he has gathered some evidence. And I'm definitely sure that evidence will be passed on to the Attorney General. The Attorney General will do a further investigation into that, get more detailed information, and also proofs that back whatever that was going to back the proceedings in judging Oforiata. So if at the end of it all Oforiata is winning the case, then it means that you didn't gather enough evidence, and you can also tell me. So all those monies that are nowhere to be found, where are they? Because he was the finance minister. So in the case, as I said, I don't really trust our judicial system, but it would be very sad if Ken should win this case against court, because one, the people have already lost confidence in our judicial system. So if this should happen, then it means there is no use of you sending a case to court too, because when you have the money, you definitely win the case. And don't forget that this has to do with, there will be majority of political influence in this. Why? Because Ken Oforiata was appointed by a previous government. So definitely, they will also work for their people. You wouldn't sit down and then allow someone's image to be tarnished, because even if Oforiata's name is tarnished, it will still be wrong with the previous government, because you appointed him. So let's not forget that in a way this whole case will be influenced. That there be the MPP, the minority caucus have already started making claims that why will Ken Oforiata be declared a fugitive? They are bringing up a whole lot of stars and statements, but we all know what happened. You cannot tell us that nothing happened in the past 8 years, because we've seen instances where they said the country is in debt, and then a huge sum of money. Oforiata, you were in parliament, you brought out policies and stuffs, and then money was projected into that. We didn't see it. The Sky Train, where is it? The Sky Train is nowhere to be found. The money too is nowhere to be found. Cathedral and also is nowhere to be found. You went into partnership with strategic mobilization, and also yes, it's kana kofa baby. That's a loopholes, and so these loopholes needs to be sealed. Whoever creates that loophole needs to be getting hold of, and the person needs to face the law. So I think basically what everybody is looking up to is how Oforiata is going to get into this country safely, and the law dealing with him. No one is above the law, so let the law take its course. If Ken Oforiata is free, say no more can.
Because
there is nothing we can do. That is what the law is stating. That is what they are also saying, that he's free.
if he is indeed free, why would he even challenge it in court in the first place? Like, he could even voluntarily just come.
It means he so. It might be that he has enough evidence, or yes, because you cannot just challenge the court if you don't have a firm grounding. So it means he's holding on to something. That is why he's challenging the court. And so this is a very, very big battle. This is a very big battle everyone is looking up to. But it's as I said, they will do great harm to us if this man is not arrested. Well, I don't have any evidence that he's guilty unless the court proves him guilty. But it will be very, very sad, because you can't tell me that those money flied out of the country. Money do not have wings to fly. So who took that money? And you should be accountable for you were the finance minister. Like you were the finance minister. You are no more there. And then they found some irregularities. Simple. You present yourself. A ban say you face the law, because you were there. You knew perfectly well that if you should do your work well, at the end of the 4 years or maybe 8 years, you are cool to go. But if you don't do your work well, you will be held accountable. And that is why every appointee swear an oath. You swear an oath to be accountable to the people, to be fair with how you deal with your business, and to be transparent. So if after swearing an oath and you still don't see anything, then what is the essence? So we are hoping for the best.
We are hoping for the best. Miss Regina.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say that Ken Oforiata is the former finance minister, and he's a high-profile individual, and I would say it's normal for him to fight the extradition. So extradition fight is normal because it is natural, in the sense, say an issue is brought before you, an issue is going against you, and you want to fight it to prove a point. So I would say that his fight against extradition doesn't mean that we failed as a country, or doesn't mean that the Attorney General is not doing his job. And one thing I like to bring out, I think yesterday, Foreign Minister, that is Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, went on national television and was giving some punchlines. And one thing I heard him say was the you can't say is I think US or say UK, yeah, they are very happy with the collaboration they are having with Ghana in terms of fighting this cyber crime and all that. And so I believe just listening to that alone should tell us that we have hope.
We have hope.
Because we are helping them bring people. We are helping them send criminals who are doing that, the romance scam and all that. We are helping them do it. So why wouldn't they help us also? And as I said, fighting extradition doesn't mean that automatically we've lost the case. The only thing that matters here is that the Attorney General needs to send all legal documentation, all due process, all evidence. If the fact is there, the fact is there, the evidence is there. So you fighting extradition, it wouldn't solve anything. So right now, the only thing we can stand on is the legal documentation, the evidences our Attorney General will send across, because you can't just start an extradition process without sending anything. So what are your legal evidence? What are your legal base? What do you have that you are standing on? So Ken Ofori-Atta should be ready and should be prepared for Ghana, because we are ready for him. If he thinks he has the money, Ghanaians' money, taxpayers' money, to be hiring top lawyers in US, then oh baby, what is coming your dear so muje?
This is so hard on Ken Ofori-Atta. He should get prepared. Right, moving on. This is actually a report coming from GSS. So 1.3 million young Ghanaians idle as youth unemployment deepens. New figures from the Ghana Statistical Service shows that youth unemployment and underutilization remain a major challenge for the country. As of the third quarter of 2025, more than 1.3 million young people aged between 15 to 24 were not in education, employment or training. This represents 21.5% of young people in that age group. The data reveal wide regional disparities. Net rates for people aged 15 to 35 were highest in the central region with 25.3% and the lowest in the OT region, 9.5%, highlighting unequal access to jobs, education and training opportunities across the country. Beyond employment, many working Ghanaians are also underutilized. About 1 in 5 employed persons is either working fewer hours than desired or not fully using their skills. The overall labor underutilization rate stood at 23.4% in the third quarter of 2025. So, underemployment is more severe in rural areas where nearly 15% of the people are not employed. I think this is very bad. I think this government, when they came into power, they promised people job with a 24-hour economy, the Jumera, and then a whole lot of initiatives they were bringing on board to solve the unemployment crisis we are facing right here in the country. But it looks like as time goes by, it deepens. Is there anything you think on our path as youth we can do to help ourselves rather than depending on the government to create a job for us? Or you think it's the responsibility of the government to give us job? Miss Debbie.
So the government has the right to create the jobs, and then you as an individual also need to do something for yourself. So of late, I think people do not engage in one job. We have people in white collar suits sitting under air conditioned offices, and they still have other businesses they deal with. They have other side businesses they do, because they know very well that what you're even taking a month is only for your rent. You're feeding Kamba, so you only pay for that rent, and then the whole month or the whole month you are stuck. You don't even know what to eat, and then it's like you are living a confused life. People knows you go to work and come back, but all you take is just a peanut. And then somebody who does her work, engage in her own skills, maybe baking, hairdressing, barbering or something, the person gains like times 2 of what you take a month, or times 3 of what you take a month. So with the youth, you are supposed to learn a skill. Although you are doing something, but you should learn a skill. At least you should know how to bake. You should know, even if you don't want to bake, there are other businesses. Now people sell online. You can actually engage in that as well. Get your customers and then sell to them. Move from hostels to hostels, schools to school. Let them know that this is what you sell. One thing I've realized is that some people are very shy, but you've forgotten that shyness is not going to put food on your table. That shyness is not going to clothe you. So you need to do something for yourself. I remember back then in school, I have a colleague who braids. So she'll come from hostel, from room to room. If your hair is bushy, you feel like okay, you're washing. But that place is very expensive. And she take a lesser price. And she braids very well. So she said after senior high school, she went to learn how to braid. And she's using it to make money at the university. So if there are many provisions, best I'll be calling home for my parents to send me coins to get some things. She wouldn't be doing that because she already have the money to be buying that basic stuff on her own. The only thing she can call home for is maybe fees. And even the hostel fee, she can pay it herself if she can afford it when she when she saved a lot. So I remember in level 200 to 300, she left the hostel and she went to rent her own place where she can get herself and work. Because at the hostel, 4 or 5 in a room, someone might not like that. So you have to get your own space. And as I'm talking to you now, she's making a lot of money. So although she went to school, she did accounting. She's still doing side hustle, and because of that, students know her for the afternoons. Some of my colleagues still go to her to braid their hair, and she's taking her money. So I feel like although you go to school, you're supposed to learn a skill. Even people who are doing great jobs today, when they're talking to you, they tell you to learn a skill because it's necessary. Learning a skill is something that brings money to your pockets every second. Even if you don't get an order, within a day, a week, you get order like 2, 3. If you don't get order, 2, 3, and that one can put like 200, 500 in your pocket. And that 500 is somebody's monthly pay.
Yes.
But who they pay? No. So imagine, if you within a month, you have 4 weeks in a month, and in a week you are making like 500. That means within that 4 weeks you are getting like 2,000, right? Sister, you are rich, or you are making money for yourself. So you need to learn a skill. It's very necessary. Now when we come to the side of the government, you have no excuse to tell us, say, payroll that has to do with previous, but we are not talking from the lens of politics, but as a government you have no excuse at all, because that is what you are supposed to do. That is why you are in that position. You are supposed to ensure that the jobs are created. If you don't have jobs to employ people, why do you go on building schools? Collapse the schools, because you cannot go to school complete and then you don't get work. Now you can change payroll. There should always be jobs ready, like ready for youth. Immediately you are graduating from school, but it's not like that, and it's sad on the part of the government. So when you come here and then you tell us that you want to create more jobs, mind you, when you go to vote, 99% of the people goes out to vote are the youth. And so they need somebody that is in alignment with what they want to achieve. So if the youth should give you their power or their mandate for you to lead them, and you're not doing what you are doing, you are equally disappointing them. It means you've toyed with their feelings, you've toyed with their emotions. They might not speak, but when the time comes for them to change, they will do it. And that is why we have a lot of youth now being some people say they are stubborn, but I don't see them to be stubborn. Some people say they are being rebellion against authority, but they are not. How will you feel completing school and then you are still in the house eating food, asking your parents for money? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense at all. Then it means that for that 4 years you've been in school and the school fees that they've been paying every semester, it has been a waste of money. That is what you're trying to say. So on the part of the government, you need to create more jobs. And that is why every government cannot do it alone. So they partner with other people who are doing well in businesses, and then they create more jobs. And for Ghana, I wouldn't say we don't have the jobs here. The jobs are there, but goals have already occupied the spaces. sometimes I don't know whether you've met those people in school. The person will not come to class, but when you say school, so they don't care.
Yeah,
they come to school, basa basa basa. The person will come to school today, 1 week on bus school, 3 weeks on bus school. Sometimes a whole semester you even see the person.
But Obenya first
class. Well, first class in the Obenya papa. And sometimes they'll tell you that me, Ejumani Daho, what my dad need is only the certificate. That is what they'll tell you. They'll tell you the Ejumani Daho, the dad need the certificate so they can point things inside. And see, Sani Pano, on your lower class, you can say, lower class. Yeah. She does not even care because Ejumano, she don't care because she will get the work. Then someone who is struggling, you want to make it, you finish and then you get there. That office is in need of people, but they'll tell you that I am because they've already fixed their own people there, whom you know protocol. That is it, and that is why we have 1 point. This is a concern to the government and to the president. There should be a headache when you sleep. You shouldn't be able to sleep because if the people are not being employed, then you cannot be walking about. And you see, sometimes you see them and then you feel like they are aimless, but they are not. And you have no right to tell us, say, to mean creativity. And it's like a Abana Mountain, ye baby. Creative jobs, no.
Do something.
And employ the people. Because it's necessary. To mean for common koda. So they are common koda. Or sorry, and that's of first year. He will walk straight to your office. He will start with you before he will come. Yes, he will start with you before he will come to his home. If you feel like maybe you are a leader, you don't care whether they get employees, none of your business. That is fine. He will become an armed robber. But then when he becomes an armed robber, he will start with your office. That is where he will start.
Right. Miss Eugenia.
Yeah. So let me start from her last point. The rise of social vices in our communities is due to unemployment.
Yeah.
These youth have nothing doing. Then the Bible says,
Satan finds work.
The devil finds
for an idle hand to an idle person. What's a hona when you dream, Bonnie and I dream, never show him say, do this, do that. Now, to the issue of unemployment, is it the right of the government or is it the duty of the government to create jobs? Yes, 100% it is the duty of the government to create jobs for the people. And before they create jobs, they need to make sure that they create a working environment or a safe working space to make sure that the jobs that they are about to create will be safe for these individuals. Like our policies, taxations, and all that, they need to be favorable for anyone who wants to start up a job, or even if the government is starting up a job for the people. Now, the government creating a job, this shouldn't be a problem. It only becomes a problem when corruption sets in. That is my point of view. It is only a problem when corruption sets in. We have the funds, we have the resources. You can even collaborate with the private sectors. We have a lot of private sectors right here in Ghana who are doing so well for themselves. The government is not even contributing anything to it. Even the government is supposed to applaud the private sectors because they are still paying huge taxes and still making sure that the people or the individuals out there are being employed and have something doing. Some communicators will come and sit here and be like, ya by no way juma, ya by no way be in juma. Where are they in juma? 1 point how many 3 million people. So where are they in juma? I would say anytime we talk about unemployment, we would always use the people who travel outside Ghana and the people who went to the EWA stadium for this job opportunity. They should send us a signal that we have a lot of youth out there who are idle. If working conditions are favorable in Ghana, if working conditions make sense in Ghana, do you think people will just leave the country for jobs? In Ghana here, where high workload or much workload are on the individuals, but looking at the pay and looking at the workload, it has a very huge gap. Oh yeah, in Juma for almost like 1,000 people. Only one person is doing the work of like let's say 5 people, but is just receiving peanuts as salary, and they think that we don't have the audacity to complain or to talk. It is the duty of the government to create jobs because we elected you, we voted for you. We are paying indirect and direct taxes each day.
Yeah.
See, that direct and indirect taxes we are paying can be of use to us. We can start up something for ourselves. And also to the youth, the fact that the government is not doing something to help doesn't mean you should not also help yourself. Yes, it is the duty of the government, but it is your duty, it is your responsibility to also make sure that you start something up for yourself. Our youth who are involved in romance scam, cyber crime and all that, fraud scamming.
Yes.
Or will Juma all year, 9 to 5, it makes sense.
And it pays well.
It pays well. I'll just say how much on that. Now or to laptop.
It's serious. So
Even that work is even difficult than any 9 to 5 job we are doing here. That scamming is very difficult because me that me tokun say, then I'll be sitting there and I'll be sleeping.
Because you need to convince the
Exactly.
people, send videos and things.
And the time gap is even different.
yes.
Look at the youth who are involved in Galamsey. Because at the end of the day, he or she can make like 3 times the salary for a month. For like 3 months salary. No better man making just one day. In as much as it's a difficult and it's an illegal job, it's still fetching them the money the government who are even bringing legal jobs are not fetching. They are not giving to us. Now for me as an individual or as a youth who knows that where I find myself, it's all about harsh conditions or harsh working conditions. I will find myself something better doing, something that will be favorable to me. And if they give me an opportunity that is illegal but brings me a peace of mind, but brings me a lot of money, I would leave the legal job and go for the illegal job because that is how our system has been created. And at the end of the day, they are arresting this youth. We will think that we are blaming the youth. One would ask, and then a youth no more lazy. Say, abani nye juma didn't know who you to the bonnet. We should not blame the government. The governments that they are arresting the youth should also sit down and ask themselves, we failed at our job. Because if we haven't failed, there's no way the youth will go into that. So please, unemployment issues, any party that will come into power, we still have issues arising in regards to unemployment. It looks like none of them can solve this menace, and it's becoming too much.
Because I think in the past week, I had a conversation with a colleague. So we were discussing about this Galamsey issue. And she was like, the youth cannot stop engaging in Galamsey. I was like, what happened? He said, you have jobs. Have you employed them? No, you've not employed them.
Exactly.
And because they made, as she said, they made like 3 times for what you take a month. So I think some time ago, Galamsey said that a day he takes like 15,000 or something.
They take a lot of money.
They take a lot of money.
They are making lots of money. A day he makes like 15,000. And he was like 15,000. Me na men jananka. Mungu suntra transport. They be and come.
And you'll be receiving 1,000, 1,300, 2,000.
And then you tell it also because if you're taking 15,000 a day, multiply it times a month and see how much you're making.
Yeah, billionaire.
Like a billionaire. And sometimes so they make and they make sure that they take some of the gold. Illegal, like they steal some. So imagine you stole that and you even sell it, black market in BNU, or turn it out or smuggle it out. You even make times 3 of that 15,000 he makes in a day, and you're making it big time. So before we can stop all this shouting on illegal money and all the things that we see not to be appropriate, then we need to sit down very well. We need to create jobs. Imagine a government standing up to increase salary of workers now to 9% or the other. 9% or the other. Meanwhile, you take more than that, and they struggle. Even these teachers and nurses, sometimes they don't even take their pay, and then they'll come and be standing on the scorching sun
and be protesting,
shouting, like I don't even understand. No, you are working. Pay the person to also make some power chore.
But as you too, we have to help ourselves. Sometimes you have to better position yourself in such a manner that when opportunity comes, you grab them. Obi Rebecca said, bring your CV. You have to send it immediately. No, I feel as I met Nasi or better train in nice. By the time you even send it, no, it's too late. So sometimes I feel like we the youth and Kasano, we are the problem.
It's
not.
true.
Yes.
It's true. We are the problem. We are not up to date. We are not serious.
Yes,
I remember we went for an event and someone was asking of my bank account. Then I sent it, and the person I went with was saying, "Hey, my after my question, my for be no chance." And I was like, "Oh yes, send do scar. I feel being child bank account in sendo."
Yeah, so you have to be very proactive as a youth as well. That doesn't mean that you put your hands in between your legs and then be waiting for government to give you a job. As you said, Miss Debbie, look for something for yourself. Learn a skill. And you be a white collar job.
Now the skills is fetching more money.
Yeah, it's fetching more money.
People go to events every day. Event planners are getting money.
Yeah.
People does weddings every day. Bakers are getting money because they are ordering them to prepare food, to bake meat pie, to bake cake, and all that. Bride will not wear any ordinary dress. Fashion designers are making money because they will sew the dress for you.
They are making money.
Hairdressers are getting money because also be styling with TM, or makeup artists are making their money because also be makeup your face. Manicure and pedicure, so they are making their money because they'll fix your nails for you.
And they even make money on daily basis. But 9 to 5, you have to wait at the end of the month and you become rich just like 1 week. After 1 week, now the money is finished. Now companies are not looking at your certificate. If you had first class, second class, or whatever, they are looking at experience, what you can do, what you can apply, your skills. So please, in as much as we are telling the government to also do their part, as youth, we also have to play our part as well. Position yourself in such a manner that you'll be able to grab the job once the opportunity comes.
And I think, please let me add one more thing, like how the world is going or evolving. I think you should have a fair knowledge in every field.
Yes.
In every field. In case of an opportunity pops out, you just grab it.
You can even learn on the job.
Yes, you can even learn on the job. So let's take this this program the government brought, this agri program. Is it Cocoa Kitten project?
Yes.
So you might not be so much into agri, but this is something that they're even dashing out. What's the name? This best to people and also give you something to start that business. You might not have interest in that, but you should have a fair knowledge about that. So say you see the back hole. You see no stop. Maybe a bit fear but then you push yourself in there.
You send job opportunity to someone like it's not my field.
It's not my field.
You'll be hungry.
You can even take those courses online.
Yeah,
get
short,
it's on your phone.
Short courses. Alright, so help yourself as a youth as well. Thank you so much for joining us in the news headline review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Today in history, President Clinton impeached. After nearly 14 hours of debate, the House of Representatives approved 2 articles of impeachment against President Bill Clinton, charging him with lying under oath to a federal grand jury and obstructing justice. Clinton, the second president in American history to be impeached, vowed to finish his term. Britain agrees to return Hong Kong to China. Britain formally agreed to return Hong Kong to China through the Sino-British Joint Declaration, signed on this day, 1984, by Margaret Thatcher and Zhou Ziyang, establishing that sovereignty would transfer on July 1st, 1997, under the one country, two systems principle, ensuring Hong Kong's capitalist system and freedoms for 50 years. This ended over 150 years of British rule, stemming from treaties after the Opium Wars, and marked Hong Kong becoming a special administrative region of China. World Series parachutist sentenced Michael Sergio, who parachuted into Game 6 of the 1986 World Series at New York's Shea Stadium, is fined $500 and sentenced to 100 hours of community service. On October 25th, Sergio, a 37-year-old actor and Mets fan, landed on the infield with a Let's Go Mets banner in the first inning of the 6th game between the Mets and the Boston Red Sox. Over 55,000 stadium spectators witnessed the skydiver's arrival and cheered him on. Sergio, who was quickly removed from the field by police, claimed he was an experienced parachutist who made the jump to show support for the Mets. To today's global observance, National Heroes and Heroines Day. It honors the remarkable individuals who have left a lasting mark on their countries, celebrated on different dates worldwide. It's a day dedicated to honoring those who have made significant contributions to their nation's progress and freedom. So today is a day for us to acknowledge all individuals, past presidents, past ministers, who have made a significant impact in our country. Yes, so do well to acknowledge one today. And that's all for today on Today in History and some few observances live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Make sure you appreciate someone today. Next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, has announced that his ministry has commenced investigations into the murder of an 18-year-old Ghanaian student, Nana Ejay, who died in Latvia. Okudzeto Ablakwa made this known in a post shared on his Facebook page on Thursday, December 18th. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has commenced immediate investigation through relevant diplomatic channels. Nana Ejay, a first-year electrical engineering student at Riga Technical University, died on June 4th. According to the family, he had been living in an apartment of the Baznika Street in Riga. On June 1st, just 3 days before his death, he reportedly sent a disturbing voice note claiming he had been poisoned. On June 4th, his relatives were informed of a suicide caused by himself and allegedly falling from the 6th floor of his apartment. The family further revealed that after receiving no satisfactory response, a relative traveled to Latvia accompanied by a representative from the Ghana Embassy, which oversees Ghana's affairs, to seek clarity on the incident. Now, in reply to that, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, said, "My attention has been drawn to a heart-wrenching video reporting the killing of a Ghanaian student, Nana Ejay. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has commenced immediate investigations through the appropriate diplomatic channels. We will keep the public updated. Nobody must harm a or hurt a Ghanaian anywhere in the world and get away with it. We are doing this for God and for the country." This is from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the ministers were Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. So somewhere on 4th June 2025, we saw a video trending where a young boy believed to be a Ghanaian schooling at Latvia did a video. And then he said he has been poisoned. Then afterwards, the news reaching his family has said that he has fell from a 6th floor and then he is dead. And so the family has to step in. They tried reaching to the school authorities. They tried finding out what led to the cause of the death, or what led to the death of their son. They were not getting any vivid response. And so the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has to step in. Now, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is saying that every Ghanaian that finds his or herself in another country needs to be protected. Because you are living in another country doesn't mean that we just have to fold our hands and look on, seeing you go through things and then the country not caring. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Samokujetu Ablakwa, said they are going to take an action and ensure that whoever is involved in it, whether school authorities, whether teachers, whether colleagues, students, whoever they are, they will face the law. They are going to ensure that they pay for what they did. You see, I've seen instances where in some countries, they don't have this kind of cordial relations with other countries. So when they see their enemy in the school, it becomes something else. And then they try to plot around and then do things to cause your death. Because I've come across a video where a student was being murdered, not a Ghanaian student. And according to my research, that has been something very consistent in that school. And that is what they do. Because, let's take for instance, I'm not saying Ghana and Nigeria, but then I just wanted to frame an example. So we have a very cordial ties with Nigeria. Let's just assume that Ghana do not have a good relation with Nigerians. So anytime they see Nigerians and Ghana, it has to do with we harming them or hurting them or doing something else. And this has gone on consistently. And it looks as if it is something that happens generations after generations. They pump that kind of thought into your mind that Nigerians are very bad, Nigerians are this, Nigerians are that. If you see them, hurt them, harm them, do this, do that, do that. And so those students have that in mind. And the students I was talking about was pushed in a pool, whether she was killed and later on pushed into the pool, whether she really died in the pool, no one had an idea. The mom just received a call and then they said the daughter is dead. She got to the school and they told her she has no right to see the body of her daughter. Which kind of school is this? So this is what I'm trying to say. Some countries do not have that kind of sympathy for other countries. They don't even want other foreigners mixing up with them. They don't want it. And so when they see you in on their land, they feel like, what are you doing here? And as I said, because of those thoughts, sometimes they teach them what does not exist, or because of the pain, they end up manipulating the minds or the brains of these young ones. And so it moves on from generation onto generations. If you are being taught about something, when I was younger, I was being taught about Kwame Nkrumah. I read a lot about him. So it continues on to generations. When you should also give birth, you are going to talk about the first president. Who is he? You're searching for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. What did he do? You preach it on. And then it continues like that. And so that is what is happening. Imagine a Ghanaian living here to school in other country, and then the only thing you get to hear is that he's dead. He's dead like how? But this guy made a video that he has been poisoned, and the school is giving a different report. Now let's take Ghana for instance. We call ourselves Asundwe Mai, Asundwe Krom. I mean, we are at peace with everybody. You can see foreigners in Ghana and then they walk about freely. No one is after you. If only you don't do the bad, you don't engage yourself in bad activities. If only you don't flout the rules of the land. No one has a problem with you. And so you see a lot of foreigners, even in our schools. You see Nigerian in our schools. You see people from other countries like Cote d'Ivoire, like France, like other countries. You see them in our schools. They are studying. And I feel like it's because Ghana do not have that notion of, having a quarrel or something with them. There is one thing that has been pumped into the mind of every Ghanaian, and that is making peace with other countries. Every Ghanaian will see other country as a relative. That is how it is. So even if a foreigner comes to this country, you cannot even differentiate between that foreigner and a Ghanaian. You can only tell the difference by the way they speak. Because a Nigerian speaking an English, you can equally tell that this person is a Nigerian. So the only thing you can differentiate a Ghanaian from a different person has to do with their language. But sometimes it's very difficult. Ghanaians get to other countries and then they are being treated anyhow. And I was very happy when I saw the Foreign Affairs Minister taking this cause very seriously. That they are going to go after them and bring all those perpetrators to book. It's very necessary, because when you set such precedent, it's sending information across. You cannot just wake up and then harm anybody at all. And even as it stands now, the whole incident surrounding this whole issue is not clear. Because the guy did a video that he was poisoned. The authorities are saying something different. They said he fell from the 6th floor. Now the question is, why was he poisoned? Why was he poisoned? Was he poisoned because he did something wrong? Even if the person has done something wrong, do you even have the right to do that? You see, these are the basic things that causes division between other countries. Because when you start doing that, and then imagine Ghanaians, we also want to retaliate. And then we feel like, oh, we are also not allowing anybody here. We want to be on our own. If we find anybody here who is also from that country, we are going to kill you, we are going to do that. Are we not causing division? That is it. If Ghana were to be any of that other countries, I'm not sure they will even bring in deportees into Ghana. And as I said, there is this notion that, oh, Ghana is a free land, Ghana is a peaceful land, and so we take in everything. But now I feel like how free we are shouldn't be taken as foolish or foolishly. You can't take our calmness to be weakness. We might be calm, but we are not that calm. If we should take in other country members in here, the what also prevents other countries from taking our people. He didn't steal. He didn't scam anybody. He went there to school. And I'm very happy that investigations are still ongoing. And this issue will be taken very, very seriously. They wouldn't keep quiet. With the kind of seriousness he said concerning this issue, he should tell us that they are not joking. And it also means that all Ghanaians in other countries are in safe hands. Because if something should happen to you right now, the country stands by you. But one thing I want us to understand is that although you are in other countries and you have your norms, that is fine, we also have ours. But at the end of it, we are all one people. Because we have people coming in and out every day. We also go to other countries and then we come back every day. That is how it's supposed to be. And that is why the saying goes that don't bite more than you can chew. Because if you bite more than you can chew, that is going to cause you more harm. And we are all eager to get to the bottom of this issue. And we will also be happy that those perpetrators will be brought to book. That is all we need. And I can assure you that everyone is happy because we feel like we are in safe hands. And the Foreign Affairs Minister should take this cause with seriousness. It means that if someone should try hurting any Ghanaian out there, you wouldn't take it lightly. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that girl. And thank you too for joining us in the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries,
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esina Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Attorney General clarifies stance on factual reporting. Minister of Foreign Affairs highlights Operation Recover or Loot critical victory requirement. Deputy Minority Whip advocate mandatory HIV testing for employees in all public sectors. Traditional leaders urge government to join forces against Galamsey. Metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives urged to remove unauthorized signages to boost road safety. These and many more coming up your way shortly. Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayenen has stressed on his role to inform the public about the outcome of investigations, not to pronounce individuals guilty. Speaking to the media, he says he adheres to due process of transparency, ensuring investigations are thorough and fair. Dr. Ayenen's remarks follows increased examination of how he managed multiple highly corrupt cases. He retreated his commitment to transparency.
I have stayed away, and deliberately and ethically so, from commenting on the pending proceedings. My approach or strategy is always to inform the Ghanaian public, my fellow citizens, of what I have found in the investigations. I have never pronounced anyone guilty prior to filing charges. All right? And despite what anyone says, all right, I am not going to stop accounting to the people prior to filing charges. That, for me, is the best way to tell the people the steps you've taken, the results you've obtained, all right, before you go and file charges. So I'm not going to abandon that strategy. And I can tell you from where I sit, there was no contradiction. Okay, whatever happens, $7 million were transferred. Nobody is fighting. Nobody is saying that $7 million were not transferred. All right, from the public BNC into the private BNC, $7 million. The evidence is solid. The day my investigator takes the stand, you will see from his witness statement the documentary evidence, including bank transfer, advice. Okay, advice slips that show that $7 million was transferred. Counsel for Edubohin, the Honorable Atachia, spent a lot of time cross-examining on the exchange rate. And that is where this whole issue about whether it was 7 million, it was 49 million, or it was, whatever. $7 million were transferred. All right. So the exchange rate for me is of no moment as far as my case is.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is resolute in its pursuit to reclaim stolen assets via Operation Recover or Loot initiative. According to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the policy is significant, highlighting its gravity to tackling corruption. Ablakwa assured that the Attorney General is meticulously building watertight cases to avoid technical loopholes in the court. He also noted that several assets have been seized, accounts frozen, and investigations advanced with support from state security and anti-corruption agencies.
I have always said that one of the very proud assignments I have carried out is to the chair of Oral, and I'm eternally grateful to President Mahama for that honor. The work I did as ranking member and later chair of the Government Assurances Committee in carrying out oversight, the billions of dollars I saw being wasted, being diverted, being looted. This country should not be where it is. We should not have gone into a debt exchange program. We should not have subjected pensioners, people's life savings, to a so-called debt restructuring program, because you had people, the previous government, elements in that government, who just looted with impunity. And so it is very humbling to have participated in that exercise with the team that was put together. A report has been compiled. We've given the report to the Attorney General. And I can assure you that President John Dramani Mahama, virtually at every cabinet meeting, requests for a briefing on Oral. And the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has been working very, very hard. I mean, sleepless nights, finalizing dockets, and prosecuting. The Attorney General is a meticulous man. Anytime you listen to him carefully, he does not want to go to court and give you a wiggle room to escape on some technicality or some sloppy investigation. So he wants to make sure that he puts his evidence together, and he makes sure that it will be very, very difficult for you to escape. And so far, if you follow the prosecutions, the Attorney General is giving a very good account of himself. So I am confident that there will be retrievals already. If you follow the Attorney General's series of media engagements, you can see that we are retrieving as a country. A lot of confiscations have gone on, real estates, the numerous houses, hundreds of houses that have been confiscated. If those houses are auctioned, we would retrieve some good money for the taxpayer. Many accounts have been frozen, loaded with our resources. And I am glad that a lot of that work is going on, particularly with the support of IOCO, the BNI, and other investigative bodies. Shraj, OSP are also supporting. So I remain confident. I am an eternal optimist. I'm confident that Oral will succeed. If Oral fails, we are finished. We are finished. And you see, it will even threaten the survival of our democracy.
And that was from the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Kudzeto Ablakwa. First Deputy Minority Whip Habib Idrisu is calling for mandatory HIV testing for all employees in public and private sectors. Idrisu believes early detection is key to managing and reducing transmission. This move aims to address Ghana's rising HIV cases, with over 334,700 people living with HIV/AIDS and 15,000 new 200 new cases reported in 2024. To combat this, the Commission is introducing innovative approaches including HIV self-testing and pre-exposure available free of charge for all citizens.
HIV. Recently, when you listen to what the Health Service or Ministry of Health are saying with regards to HIV, it is very rampant now. Many a time when you go to many of the regions, you see that people who are HIV are positive. It's on an increase that many people are now being tested positive on HIV in Ghana than before. And I think that, Mr. Speaker, it should be part of the requirement in every organization in Ghana. If they want to, either periodically or if you are to be given a job opportunity, you should be allowed to be tested HIV. Should be part of the health screening so that we'll be able to know. Because, Mr. Speaker, when you are not tested and you know your status, you will not be able to handle or cure or look for solutions to it. So, Mr. Speaker, as much as I support this ratification, I want to just call on every organization, whether government or non-government organization, that it should be part, mandatory requirement, that if you are going to be engaged, either employment or whatsoever, HIV is testing should be part of it. And medication, in terms of when you are tested positive, it should be made, I think it's already free. If not, then it should be free everywhere, so that members or people, patients, with regards to this, can have access to.
President of the National House of Chiefs, Ojiahoya Ojebi II, is calling on government to collaborate with traditional authorities to combat illegal mining. Speaking at the general meeting of the House in Kumasi, he stressed that chiefs, as custodians of the land, must be involved in protecting water bodies, public health and the environment. Ojiahoya Ojebi II cautioned that experiences from neighboring countries and parts of South America show how illegal mining can evolve into organized armed groups. He also called for a review of mining and timber royalties paid to traditional authorities, proposing that 1% of gross revenue from mining companies be retained for local development.
We are calling on government to actively involve Nananum in the fight against galamsey. In fact, galamsey is now all over the place, all over the country. And if we don't take the necessary steps, we are going to lose out to them. In fact, my fear is even that they are ganging up into armed groups. And if care is not taken, the security forces are going to find it very difficult to flush them out from the forest and from the areas. And if this happens, then just as what is happening by the drug backgrounds in South America, we may have them also challenging security in this country. So we call on government to actively involve the landowners in the fight against galamsey. Every village, every town, there's a chief. So if we are well resourced, if the regulatory regime is changed and none are involved, I believe that we will also help in the fight against the galamsey and make sure that our river bodies are clean, we get good drinking water, and our soils are also not impoverished, because medical doctors are warning us that indeed the cassava that we like so much, the yam, the cocoyam, vegetables, including of course contomere, these are all affected. And so I call on government to actively involve Nanano in this fight.
The National Road Safety Authority has directed Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies in the Greater Accra region to remove unauthorized billboards and signages that poses a risk to road users. The National Road Safety Authority has given Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies a 21-day ultimatum to comply or face legal actions. The move aims to address concern over billboard obstructing visibility and creating distractions near footbridges. According to the National Road Safety Authority Managing Director, authorities will not hesitate to take action against non-compliant assemblies. Meanwhile, government has begun a coordinated exercise to regulate outdoor advertising structures, starting with Greater Accra region.
Committee working on proper siting of billboards within capitals, and with Greater Accra we have started something. We have removed a few billboards. We are working in collaboration with the municipal assemblies, and we have marked some for removal. One thing we should know is that the mounting of signage they are temporary structures, and so the assemblies can go in there if the signage is obstructing human views and they are in the medians and all that. So the committee has gone out. Like I said, we've done some work and we'll continue on Saturday to remove the billboards that we have marked. So in case you have your billboards out there, we want you to know that we are coming out to ensure that as we clean Accra, as we make Accra bright, we need to pave way for pedestrians and then proper viewing of our roads.
The Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, has commended Nutri-Foods Culinary, producers of tasty Tom tomato paste, for achieving 14 years of accident-free operations at their manufacturing plant. The minister urged the company to leverage the Government 24 Economy Initiative to boost employment.
How the workers are feeling. Examine the safety standards of the companies and how the health of workers are also being considered. In some places, you find workers having injuries whilst they work. The places are not properly kept, and there are challenges. So when you mention that 40 years with 0 incidents or accidents, it's see that people were clapping. It is what we are dealing with every single time. Workplace accidents, challenges at workplace and all that. So we are looking at all that. We are also looking at how we can be instrumental in supporting companies to even grow more, to take advantage of the 24-hour economy. And indeed, you already mentioned you are on it, which is exciting to me. And the importance being also to make sure that the ministry can have interaction with maybe some key leadership of the labor force that are operating and see how they are functioning, how they are committed to doing what they are supposed to do. Also to listen to you to find out whether you face some challenges and how we can be of instrumental, how we can be instrumental in supporting you to clear them. And any other issues you think the ministry can be of support to help. Of late, government has a feeling that unless the private sector wakes up to the challenge of unemployment, we will always have problems with it. Government alone cannot be the one to employ. Private sector has to do a lot. In fact, in many countries, rather than the 47% of formal sector jobs which are coming from government, in many places just 20% and below. We have overshot the balance, and we think that in profit.
In business, the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has acquired 40,000 acres of land from the Yeji Traditional Council to support the implementation of the Feed the Industry program. The program forms part of the government's flagship Feed Ghana initiative and is aimed at promoting large-scale cultivation to increase the supply of raw materials for local industries, reduce dependence on import, and strengthen agro-industrial production. Speaking during the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoko Ajimine on Thursday, December 18th, The sector minister Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare disclosed that her outfit is engaging private sector players to support the initiative. She added that the ministry will soon begin the commercial cultivation of tomatoes, pepper and ginger on 6,000 hectares of land. She noted that the program is expected to create jobs, support local farmers, and enhance value chain development across the agribusiness sector. To sports, FIFA overturned the result of 3 Malaysian matches after finding they had fielded ineligible players. The Football Association of Malaysia said in the latest setback for the team amid a widening document forgery scandal. FIFA has suspended 7 naturalized players for 12 months and fined FAM 350,000 Swiss francs in September after finding false documentation had been used to allow them play in an Asian Cup qualifier against Vietnam in June. World Soccer's governing body dismissed an appeal by FAM last month, highlighting on launching a formal probe into the association's internal operations and notify authorities in 5 countries of potential criminal proceedings. FAM said in response it will bring the case of Court of Arbitration for Sports. In its latest decision, FIFA's disciplinary committee also changed the results of 3 friendlies the players had appeared in against Cape Verde on May 29th, Singapore on September 4th, and Palestine on September 8th. Malaysia had drawn with Cape Verde and ended 2-1 and 1-0 wins over Singapore and Palestine. FAM will make a written application to obtain the reasons for the decision from the FIFA Disciplinary Committee before considering the next steps to be taken. The scandal has sparked uproar in Malaysia, with fans and some lawmakers calling for actions, as well as government agencies responsible for granting the players citizenship. Last month, the association suspended its Secretary General and formed an independent committee to investigate what is called a technical error. Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has vowed full transparency in domestic investigation, but stressed FAM will be allowed to defend itself. In showbiz, the University of Media, Arts and Communication, UNIMAC, has signed a memorandum of understanding with creative company Akuna to strengthen industry-focused training for students. The agreement marks a significant step towards bridging academic learning and practical industry experience with Ghana's creative sector. The signing ceremony brought together key members of UNIMAC leadership, including Vice Chancellor Professor Eric Opoku-Mensah, Pro Vice Chancellor Weston Kwame, Acting Registrar Obapenyi Edu-Oforiwa, Director of the Center for Global Education and Collaboration, Dr. Laurentia Ijapon, and Rector of the Institute of Film and Television, Professor Samuel Manasseh. Akuna was represented by Miriam K. Eboahen, Chief Operating Officer of Akuna Group Ghana, who reaffirmed the company's commitment to nurturing and elevating Ghanaian creative talent. Under the agreement, UNIMAC students will benefit from structured mentorship, hands-on industry training, content creation, and clearer pathways into the commercial side of the creative economy. The partnership is expected to help students translate their skills into sustainable businesses, global relevance, and meaningful contributions to the creative industry. And that's a wrap on the morning news update. Thank you so much for doing the listening. Do want to log on to all social media platforms at GhanaTalks Radio for more news updates. I am Deborah Doss, so do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. Yes, I'm seated in the studio with my beautiful and knowledgeable ladies. We are going to dive into some news headlines, and then we call it a day. Good morning to you once again, ladies.
Good morning.
Miss Debbie, have you taken your breakfast already?
Did I? It's already digested.
I'll say it has already digested. So don't worry. Miss Regina, have you taken breakfast already?
Yeah.
You have?
Because it's in the microwave.
Wow. Where you are, Masa?
I'm not carrot, I'm cabbage.
All right, let's look at some few headlines. Right, so for our first news story, involved chiefs in Galamsey fights, National House of Chiefs to government. President of the National House of Chiefs, Mr. Yao JB II, is calling on the government to urgently involve traditional authorities in the fight against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, warning that the menace is fast becoming a national security threat. He warned that experiences from neighboring countries and parts of South America show how illegal mining can evolve into organized armed groups, a situation he says Ghana must avoid. He noted that some Galamsey operators are already resisting law enforcement, making the involvement of chiefs who are custodians of the land critical in protecting water bodies, public health, and the environment. Speaking at the general meeting of the House in Kumasi, the President of the National House of Chiefs also called for an immediate review of mining and timber royalties paid to traditional authorities, and is proposing that 1% of the gross revenue of mining companies operating within traditional areas be retained to support local development. Now let's focus on the first aspect of the story, which has to do with chiefs involving themselves in the fight against Galamsey. If care is not taken, these Galamseyers are going to form armed groups and they are going to come for Ghanaians. Messagina, how can we involve the chiefs? Because
so chiefs are supposed to be involved in the fight against Galamsey. Yeah. So this shouldn't be a problem, I think, because they are the chiefs. Yes, they are the custodians of the community, and I can't enter into someone's lands without informing or without making my presence known to the person there. I quite remember Cheddar, during the times he was campaigning to be president, he went to one of the communities to just campaign without consulting either the elders or the chiefs of the community, and he was warned not to come and do any political rally or political campaign there. So this should tell us that a chief is like a president in a country, so he's a president in his town.
Yes.
And you can't just enter there and do what you want. First off, the fight against Galamsey, we always say that it's a collective responsibility, and it starts with the chiefs themselves, because these people come to you, palace ho, seek permission, and you give them the go ahead. So yes, I do agree that the chiefs needs to be involved in the fight against Galamsey. A chief, the same way a chief can banish someone from the community, that's you because of what you've done, you've tarnished the image of the country, or the gods are angry with you, so leave the community and don't return again. They have the right to do it. So what is stopping them from doing the same thing? It is really a mind baffling. I don't even know if I should say they are also a part of it, because in a way they are encouraging it.
Yeah, in a way.
Just last week, a video popped up. One minister for, I don't really remember, but one minister was sacking some Chinese from his constituency, saying that, do you want to spoil my water? If I come to China and I spoil your water, will you be happy? If you come here, I'll arrest you again. So this should tell you, say,
like they caught the Chinese.
Yes, Galamsey.
And that was all he could say to me.
If you return, I'll arrest you.
Way.
Instead of you to surrender him to the right authorities, the right law enforcers, so that he would be disciplined. Chinese ni,
because he's Chinese.
I don't know
whether we've not seen white before. Maybe when we see them, we think they are God on earth.
Not like excuse me, like Yataba.
Once I say as I'm no creo here to Sabin, so Sabio, before Jimmy Ankasa.
Oh, but it's too much.
Oh yes, it is. Because when you should find yourself in their country, they don't
tell me why you would deport Chinese nationals who involve themselves in Galamsey to their country to go and face persecution there. Is it there that they did the Galamsey? It was this country. They destroyed the water bodies. They destroyed the environment here. Let them face it. So why would you deport them? Who called Chinese? So if you find yourself in a Chinese national's country and you go and do something, but would they deport you?
I'm not sure they will deport.
They will not deport you.
They will make sure they punish you.
Oh yes.
Abuchika yambefana uncle.
Yeah, befana uncle.
Ahana was coming uncle for. Anyhow, you go there.
Hey, haja for you. Oh, she know there.
Yeah, she served her sentence.
Yeah, she served her sentence there. So why can't we allow these Chinese to also serve their sentence?
Exactly. What, like, why?
Because what's the assurance that if we deport them? The last time I heard, they said the interior, is it the interior minister?
Yeah,
the interior minister says they'll collaborate with the government over there in China, and they will have to prosecute them there.
Look at this.
Was a crime committed
are
there?
We serious as a country? Our leaders are not serious.
So if we keep telling them next time, don't mess, but go, they'll come back because they know that when they come back, this is what you tell them again.
Yes.
So I will come back and come and do this thing.
And they have no respect for even the Ghanaians. They don't. And I don't know, it's like we have partnership with them more. Because if you look at Ghana, the foreigners we have more has to do with the Chinese. And they have a lot of their companies here.
So we are actually scared to arrest them or what?
That is it.
Then we are weak as a country.
We are
very weak. We are very weak as a country.
Very, very weak. Because I think the best person to solve Galamsey has to do with our chiefs. They are the right people to solve Galamsey. You are in the community, you meet people, you meet these people. So what do you tell them? You can't tell me that Galamsey is going on and then a chief in that community knows nothing about it. He knows something, he has taken something, and that is why he is quiet. These chiefs do not talk. The waters are being destroyed. I don't know whether the river goddess is still alive or the river goddess is dead. Because we see nothing. And I wouldn't be surprised if a time will come there will be shortages of fish for us to eat. I know most of the time those fishes are being caught in the sea. But at least this rivers too, you get some small bolivis inside. And those community residents live on that. You don't even care about your people. And then you take money, you sign contracts, you take huge sum of money, and then you allow these people destroy the water bodies. So I think it's about time we start arresting chiefs. We need to start arresting them. If you're a chief and you don't respect yourself, then you need to face the law. Because you cannot be there and then your water is being destroyed. Then who are you? Are you there for the good of the people? You're not there for the good of the people. It feels like you are there for your own selfish gain. As even if the people comes and then you tell them that build schools, build 10-story buildings of schools, build this, build that, and you come for so or so. But you take the money, they don't build. You don't go to those money communities and see for yourself. They are the most poorest community ever. The person will be claiming, hitting the chest. I'm not saying they mine gold in Obuasi, but it's a land of gold, so I'm just using that for example. You hear someone tell you, oh, me from Obuasi hitting the chest, heart attack. Go there and go and see what they are going through. Very, very poor. They have nothing, but you claim you are from a land of gold. You have basically nothing to show. And that is because that same gold is being taken away by people. And then they give you a peanut. Residents in those communities do not even have access to it. They don't benefit from these companies. They don't, even the people that mine legally, what have they been doing in those communities? How many schools have they built? How many cheap compounds have they built? Nothing to show. So if we are talking about who to hold responsible, it should be our chiefs. The only person I can boldly say is fighting against Galamsey has to do with, I think, Asante caution chiefs and was it Domahin too? I think Domahin is also one chief that will tell you that, and I just want to pay you like you'll be disturbed. You'll be disturbed. These are the two people, sir. Anytime you come across their video, they preach against Galamsey. The rest of them, it's like they are silenced. You'll be silenced because they've given you money. You can't talk. Your hands are tied. So you are saying that this thing is going on, but there is nothing you can say. And you might feel like it's normal. Don't forget, you think God is a fool to create water and forest. He knows we will be in need of it. And you are destroying it for what? For gold. God, you can't want them. They just give you the money and they send those goals away. Or no tons of gold now. Profit or it's more than what He has given you. So why are we being so wicked to ourselves? Why? So I feel like it's about time we start arresting these chiefs and then using some of them as an scapegoat. Because that DC that has been jailed for 8 days. So are you telling me that the chief in that area or that community knows nothing about it? That something of that sort is going on. They have connections. Then they have the people they deal with. So we fight this Galamsey. Chiefs, governments, politicians, residents, everyone has a role to play. If the government is ready to fight Galamsey, the chiefs are not ready. We cannot. We'll just be beating around the bush, say and then we'll still be marking time. Even if the chiefs are ready, and then the stakeholders, politicians, those behind the scenes, pumping the money, buying the excavators, buying the champagnes, buying the chemicals, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people behind Galamsey transport these Chinese into the countries to be doing the work for them. I wouldn't be surprised that they do that. Because you cannot tell me that a Chinese will just wake up from his country and then come to Ghana and start mining. They have connection, they have links.
Yeah.
In Kasha one year, then Kacha will say he has videos, nude videos, sex videos of some members of parliament, of some politicians on her phone.
On her phone.
Just because they wanted to arrest her for engaging in galamsey. So it means it's an exchange of gifts. She gives it out, you allow her mind your gold. So Obechimia to end there also call them. But even those Chinese guys, I think one time ago, a member of parliament was saying that I don't know how true is that, but he said when the Chinese go on ground, they even impregnate some residents. End up impregnating this operation. I said they say Blue Water Initiative gas and mano. He said they end up having. Also, the way he said the thing was funny. I said, it's true. What your mom was saying was so quiet there.
China, you got more dollars.
Oh, yeah, I got some more dollars. And you know what? You who bring you say you put it.
It's sad. It's sad.
It's very, very
It's
sad.
high time our chief come in and also play their role against galamsey. Right. Government revokes LI 2462, bans mining in forest reserves. So the government has completely revoked the legislative instrument LI 2462, which granted power to the president to authorize mining in forest reserve in the country. This comes after the Environmental Protection, which is the Mining in Forest Reserve Revocation Instrument 2025, matured into law on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, following its laying in Parliament by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa. The move forms part of the government's renewed efforts towards the fight against illegal mining, also known as galamsey. LI 2462, which allows mining activities in forest reserve, has faced fierce criticism from environmental activists and the public for its role in exacerbating the damaging effect of illegal mining, also known as galamsey. Many environmental and civil society groups argue that LI 2462 opened up forest reserves to industrial mining in a way that undermines forest protection. Yes, so I think that is part of a promise that President John Dramani Mahama made when he was campaigning. He said that when he comes into power, he's going to revoke this particular LI that allows people to mine in our forest reserve. And lo and behold, it has been revoked. So now, either legal, either illegal, you will not be allowed to mine in our forest reserve anymore. But my problem is, why should people even be allowed to mine legally in our forest reserves in the first place? Like they'll be cutting down trees and be mining there, so the trees cannot be processed into something useful for the country that we can be able to generate revenue. Why not this how long never?
I don't know. It will be animal.
Oh, come on.
To be Yano. They are the only people who do that. Because I know that when you get into the forest, there are certain trees you don't cut down.
Yes.
And there are trees that are used for furniture. There are trees that are even used in the production of paper. The notebook you write inside is made up from trees. Pencil is made from trees. Wood is used for a lot of things. And sometimes when you go deep into the forest, if you've been to excursion before in a forest reserve that is being catered for by the Forestry Commission, when you get there, they will tell you that these trees, we don't touch it, we don't do this, we don't do that, because this is used for medicinal purposes, this is used for that. Even when you get there, wild animals, you don't kill it. Snake, you don't kill snake, because you can't go and kill snake. And in fear, no, you cannot harm it, because also ban also one for also in funny one. That is why when you get to those forestry that is being preserved and then taken proper care of by this Forestry Commission, you don't even go there with a gun. What the gun then? When they see you, they either sack you, they take the gun from you, and you are being arrested. So I feel like this legislative instrument they brought gave the people the go ahead to mine in our forest reserves. Because Kobeka was say LI 2462 says that I have the mandate, I have the power to mine in the forest reserve, and there is nothing you can do. And so it looks as if the laws has been tied around us, so there is nothing you can do. So repealing this law is very, very, very good. It's going to bring a stop to that. Don't forget that these forest reserves also serve as storage sites. You go there sometimes. Is it a brie? They say the longest tree or something you go very, very huge, and then it has been there for generations upon generations. Day in day out, people go there for tour. There is a whole history about that tree, and you go to learn. So it serves as tourist site. They say when the last tree dies, the last man dies, right? Yes. Oh yes. So I believe that repealing this this LI is very, very necessary. That is going to bring a halt to what we've already started. Ghanaians, we don't understand free will. If you give us our free will, just say that is how we understood it. So if they don't bring an end to it, a time will come where we wouldn't even get. We will start even importing timber.
Oh yes,
we will start importing timber into the country because
for our furniture.
And then, man, is are we moving forward or we are going back? We are definitely going back because we are seeing no progress. Wait. Sometimes I don't understand. Did God create Ghana to come and destroy? I don't get it. Because countries who are not even blessed with this gold, this natural resources, nice, serene environments like ours, are even making it big time. And we will leave everything here and go there. We are admiring them. When you get to that country, be like, wow, roses. Trini Jonas will tell you that glass for the bay.
Glass and
kwan. So can't we do same here? It's pathetic.
It's very pathetic. Miss Regina, what do you make of the revocation of the LI?
Okay. So I think it's a good thing and it's a great call, but it shouldn't only be about announcements, but they should implement it very well. And looking at this revocation, I think it would also create a room for this illegal mining and galamseyers to be scared. But it shouldn't just be about they just scrubbing it off or taking it off. Some people can say, oh, says we can change location. We will change location. And looking at our forest reserves are very important to us as Ghanaians, and also it plays a key role when it comes to nature, our climate change, our biodiversity, and all that. And I don't, as Debbie said, who even brought this, that you can mine in a forest reserve? Like, who brought that idea? Forest reserve. And I wanted to say something in regards to the illegal mining. One thing I know for sure is when you want to know that there's a gold or there's a mineral here, they have tools that they use to detect it, that this community or this place is good for mining.
Or there are lots of gold.
These illegal miners, they don't even know whether some is there or some is not there.
You have no idea. The Chinese people are bringing
the machine.
Yeah, they are bringing the machine, because a video where you see like a fisher saying a compound house and somebody is digging in the middle of the house.
I don't know if you saw the pictures that popped up last week. Miracle Abaji posted it in a school compound.
Yes,
they are mining.
Because
they think there's gold there.
Hey.
And what is the school? They didn't report to them or what?
The chiefs are backing it. What do you have to say?
The chiefs.
The reason I'm saying the chiefs are backing it, because no chief will keep quiet, and then a reasonable chief wouldn't keep quiet and allow people mind in a school. Once you know that even we have pits that can recklessly fall into the pit.
Yeah.
So in a way, wajibibi so I'm sure even the person who leaked that video did it unanimously. No one knows about it. Things are going on.
In
the school and even in the compound house. If you say in the middle of the house, to gold.
So as I say, I know
As I say,
Asase ya yeding.
Asase ya yeding. Inti yeah destroy no.
Oh, so be
like,
fight ya man ho.
Hey.
So it's all about making sure that the laws are being enforced, and that is it. We'll be good to go.
Yeah. And I don't know whether or should we go to those mining communities and educate the people?
Education.
You think they don't know they are causing
because
harm?
where it has gotten to?
Yeah, they say people still drinking the dirty water themselves.
So is it that they don't know that what they are doing, they are causing harm? Miss Debbie, is that what you are saying?
And that is what I'm trying to believe. I'm trying to believe that they don't know.
They know.
The Bible even said that lack of knowledge, my people perish. So I don't know whether this one is lack of perish, my people knowledge. Oh yes, this I would say it's a mixture of witchcraft and wizardry.
Right, moving on. Bawumia not to blame for 2024. Bawumia not to blame for 2024 NPP loss. Akomia replies Brian A. Champo. So Nana Akomia, chairman of the Communication Directorate for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign, has dismissed claims by Abetifi MP, Brian Champion, suggesting that the former vice president was largely responsible for the New Patriotic Party's defeat in the 2024 general election. He made this declaration on Peace FM. He described a champion's remarks as a personal opinion lacking credible evidence. He pointed out that several independent surveys conducted before the 2024 polls, including those by the Economist Intelligence Unit, Afrobarometer, and Global Info Analytics, had predicted a likely NPP loss due to public dissatisfaction with the economy, unemployment, and general living conditions. According to him, the findings consistently pointed to voter discontent with government performance as the main factor behind the loss. He challenged a champion to cite a single credible survey supporting his claim. Looking ahead to the party's upcoming primaries, Akomia said recent research by Global Info Analytics indicates rising support for Bawumia among delegates, a trend he says counters the suggestion that the former flag bearer bore responsibility for the 2024 election defeat. So this is coming from a communicator for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign, and then he says that you cannot attribute NPP's loss to Dr. Bawumia. That one day you can't, and this was a reply he gave to Brandy Champon. Now, personal opinion, general opinion. What do you think led to the defeat of the NPP? Would you say that these personalities, it could be the president, maybe a particular person, maybe Bawumia himself, do you think that they, in a way, play a role as to why the NPP lost the election? I see you breaking your neck.
I think a lot of factors led to their defeat in the 2024 election. It wouldn't be fair enough if we should blame everything on Bawumia. Yes, we need to blame him, of course, because he is the vice president in the party, so it means you hold a higher role in the party. But after it all, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, when he goes out to speak, he doesn't speak per himself or for himself. He speaks for the party. He goes in representation or representing the party. So when you're talking about factors that lead to their defeat in the 2024 election, a whole lot. You made promises that you didn't fulfill. So promises like let me start with you bringing SkyTrain. The SkyTrain is nowhere to be found. The money is nowhere to be found. E-levy, you brought e-levy when things were so difficult, where the CD to the dollar was not correlating. Today you go to buy a bag of rice, the next day the price has skyrocketed. Then we were there, boom, National Cathedral came in. No see who to say he didn't lead that, but it's the party, so of course we are going to blame the party for that. And then we saw instances where they didn't listen to the people. One of the main factors was they not listening to the people.
When they are doing something and the citizens are telling them that,
We are the one feeling the heat. Yes. So can you change the gear? Or say gear no change. It's a 10 or 10 now. You're gonna say yeah. And they kept doing that based on their own interest. And it even got worse when they brought the DDEP, domestic debt. Is it domestic debt exchange? DDEP. They brought it where pensioners' money were taken by the government because they feel like there was no more money in the country. And then we saw pensioners. I even saw the former CJ, Sophia Akufu, protesting against the previous government.
Yes,
because the DDP they brought was not favorable to them. Imagine someone saving for her whole lifetime, going on pension. It is only a wicked leader that would do that. So all these things are something that the people were pinpointing. They were marking it down. Citizens had no right to protest because we were protesting. Now I'm sure you will be them. You will be beaten. And then we saw it. We saw an old woman being arrested because she brought a bottle of water that looked like a Milo. And then she was trying to demonstrate how deteriorating Galamsey has gotten to. And we saw how she was arrested. We saw a lot of people being arrested in the country. So all these are factors that led to their defeat. In the 2024 election, Akufo-Addo told us that he's going to put his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey and Kosi Bebia. When he came, he told us that Kenke then was sold like 3 cedis, 4 cedis. He said it was too expensive. The dollar to a cedi was somewhere like 2 cedis. He said it was too expensive. What did we see? Immediately he came to power, it's like we having the Nebuchadnezzar ruling us in Ghana. We saw a lot of things, negative things happening. So if you're talking about the defeat of the MPP, be chow. But you cannot, the more reason why everybody is pointing at Baumia because meeting you on a lady. You are the one who brings it on, but you are the one who take like the initiative. So if the thing don't go well, you are the first person they are going to point to that you didn't do well. They told us that they've created employment, they've created 2.6 million jobs. Let's be sincere. How many people were employed before they left power? They brought Agenda 111. How many hospitals were they able to complete? They said 1 district, 1 factory. How many factories were they able to build in those districts? They said 1 village, 1 dam. How many villages got that dam? My community, there is no dam. They said 1 constituency, 1 million. How many constituencies got that money? So if you're talking about a defeat there, a dorsal papa, and most of them too, I would say with their own mouth, they destroyed whatever they've all gathered for. Because for a citizen or a country to retain you, a party in power, it falls on this. How well do you communicate with the people? You are not even accountable to us. You don't give us updates on what you are doing, how far. See, if the MPP wouldn't have gone in opposition, if they were so sincere to the people, communicate to the people, maybe whenever this is what happened, you didn't. Even when people are telling you that, see, these ministers are not doing well, they need to take their seat, you said no. And the most serious aspect is when the former president was being asked, how well are we going to fight the economy? He said the next person coming after me will do better.
We'll fix it.
It means we're messing up the country. If MPP should have won the 2024 election, let's be sincere, I don't know where we would be by now. We would have faced harsher penalties than what we saw in 2024. So with their defeat, it's a loss. But pushing their hand to one person, that would be very bad because everybody will point at Dr. Baumia because he takes the initiative. So when they go and they discuss something, he takes the step. He told us that he has locked the CD to the dollar and given the key to IGP. And also, so who do you expect? We mentioned their name. Definitely it's going to be Baumia because Baumia and Akufo-Addo were running the country. If something happened, who do you call? It's not President Mahama. President Mahama, the first person that came in mind is President Mahama. You are going to call for sure. Even if President Mahama has appointed ministers and they are doing their work, but if that minister is not doing his work well, the first person you call is President Mahama because they are appointing. So that is it. So I think a lot of factors contribute to their defeat, but to come back, they will have to do their homework very well. Very well.
Miss Regina.
Okay. So we were all in this country and we saw the works of the past presidents, Nana Addo, and vice president also, Nana Addo Bawumia administration. We saw it and we all can testify to the fact that in a way it didn't really go on well. It didn't also meet our expectations as concerned Ghanaians. And also blaming Bawumia solely and mainly for the loss of NPP is a no-no for me. What happened to the chief superintendents, the ones spearheading all the operations? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he was the boss at that time, he was the driver. And one thing we fail to forget is Bawumia was just a mate. Just imagine you are a mate or a bus conductor in a bus and your driver is behaving recklessly. You can decide to talk to your driver. Obeti, obi ha onti. There's nothing you can do. Want to mean kasena boss fi na membeji kaninchi. Want to mean yes sir. So as we are blaming Bawumia, we should also blame the main driver as it stands, because he also added to the failure of the offense and the party. Or can who be? And Nana Addo, he is part. So I don't know why we are all blaming Bawumia. Bawumia also, so the reason why we are blaming also Nanunda.
Economic wizard.
Nanunda. Yes, a friend is saying, be solve the economy. Now said that digitalization are open. They are open.
Digital.
See the way the dollar was skyrocketing, was going up. Who. So Bawumia, he's at fault. Nana Addo is at fault.
All the MPP members. Because
all the MPP members.
Yes, all the MPP members. Because you can't tell me that they had no idea of whatever was going on. They kept quiet. Yes, they kept quiet when things were hard. They were not talking. They were mute. They were quiet. I don't know where their soul was, but now I can feel like they are alive because they are talking. Then they were quiet. So I think everybody needs to be blamed, because even where people were saying that everything was going on wrong, communicators in better. What did they say? They speak in favor of the party. They make it look as if Nana Addo and Bawumia was doing best. Because the more the CD, the dollars move ahead of the CD, almost can call money. That is what they wanted. So say about form, say Danny Beans account or.
Yeah. So finally, Commander Sugar Factory sets for revival by end of 2026, and this is coming from the Trade Minister. So the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has announced plans for the operationalization of the Commander Sugar Factory by the end of 2026. And the ministry confirmed that land has been successfully acquired for the cultivation of sugarcane, which will supply raw materials for the factory. Isn't this a good news, especially for the youth? Don't you think so? Because if it's finally revived, we will stop importing sugar. All right, so let's go there.
Especially that box.
Yeah,
is
the
box
sugar says
the box sugar, the blue box sugar.
Blue box sugar. Like sugar. Once we have a lot of sugar cane, the villages are planting, are growing sugar canes, where we can get sugar out of it. So I don't know why we are importing all these little things. So it's good that they would operationalize it again, and in a way it will open doors for the youth to be employed. They are sitting home doing nothing, and they should start, I'm sure, with the Commander Sugar Factory. They'll start with the 24-hour economy, where it will be operationalizing day in and day out,
24/7.
24/7 until obi kono na obi soba into no and one.
Yeah. Miss Debbie, what can you say to this?
Oh yeah, it's good. We wouldn't have to be importing sugar into the country again. And I remember when the Commander Sugar Factory was no longer in operation, the farmers were complaining because that community is a community where they invest more in planting sugar cane. So when it's happening like that, it becomes a burden to them, and then loss of money as well because they invested into that and they see no profit on it. Tell me why we are so blessed with sugar cane and we still import sugar. It doesn't make sense. So I feel like this is very good. It will be revived. I know the communities, the people living in that community will be very happy because at long last,
they've waited for so
long. Their produce will finally be bought by the government, and I'm just hoping that it will be a fair price. It wouldn't be like cocoa board and cocoa farmers. You get me?
Yes.
They will be paid in a very fair price because if the government is buying from you, it should be at a rate that will make you feel say or will boost that confidence in you to plant it more, not to discourage you from venturing into other produce instead of sugar cane. And it will as well employ people in that community.
Right. Well said. We are happy the government is finally taking up this project, that they will revive it in 2026. We're just hoping that it's not just talk, but they should make sure that as they are uplifting and they are giving people hope that they will revive it, and they should make sure they do that. Any other words?
No.
Any other words?
No.
Right. Thank you so much, my ladies, for joining me on this brief talk on some news and relevant news stories. Right. Thank you too to our audience for doing the listening. We'll come your way same time next week. Have a blessed weekend.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's